So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to juggle multiple interests, and when you're busy, you work full time and you have other passions and hobbies that you want to do. So I'm going to talk on how I make it work for myself. To be honest, it's not all as glamorous. However, I'll give you a few tips that you guys can implement if you feel like you're so busy and you want to find the extra time to do this extra things that you do enjoy. So just for a little bit of a context in terms of things that I do and things that I get up to, I am someone who is quite multi-passionate. There's a lot of things that I'm passionate about and that I enjoy, and that I'll always try and make the time to fit in my schedule no matter what. So a few of the things that I do, I will obviously work out every single day, always try and go for walks, get my steps in, take my dog for a walk. I obviously run my business. I enjoy pole dancing and doing any kind of like aerial work, flagpole, lyra, lollipop, and any other kind of dancing. I'm also studying counselling at the moment, and a lot of behind the scenes that you guys wouldn't even see or probably even know that I do. A lot of things that I just genuinely love. I've done a lot of like little side quests in the past as well. To be honest though, to be super upfront about having these hobbies, you also, I think as well, if you do want to be successful, there is going to be a lack of balance in your life, and you have to be a little bit accepting of that. And you also have to be super aware that these extra hobbies that you have isn't going to make you money in a sense. So you have to be super well aware that it's not a distraction and it has to add to your life. Knowing the fact that these hobbies can be a distraction. So being so well aware that, okay, this is going to be my me time, my downtime, because when used correctly, these hobbies can be a great addition to your life. They can be your version of winding down, and instead of winding down like watching Netflix like some people will do, you wind down by doing your sport or whatever it is. Maybe it's coloring in, maybe it's listening to a podcast, going for a walk. Like, these things can enhance your life as opposed to just like Netflix. It's just, or watching TikTok and you're getting TikTok brain and you've got an attention span of a goldfish. You've got to know the balance, and generally that will come with trial and error. You know I have so many other like extra hobbies and things that I would genuinely love to do more of, and if I could pole all day every day, I would. But it's not going to be productive. I don't have time to do that, unfortunately. And if you've got more responsibilities and you've got family and kids, then chances are you have to be extra wise with your time. I'm lucky in the sense that I really don't have a whole lot of responsibility, so I can dedicate so much of my time to like work, and I have that time for my hobbies, but I'll only dedicate a few hours a week, and that for me is myself winding down, and it's something I genuinely enjoy. And me winding down, that's going to allow myself to fill up my cup for my business. When it comes to doing your main passion, your main source of work, you want your cup to be so full, and you want to be giving to your clients from a point of overflow. Because I use this analogy all the time. Like, if it's late night and I'm exhausted, my clients would genuinely rather me take the evening off, do my thing, wind down in any way, shape or form, and get back to them a little bit later, and my work will be so much better, so much more productive. I'm so much more in tune with what they're saying. I can read in their check-in, their information, and give them so much and deliver them a better result and better work on my end. It's better to make sure that your cup is full, and that's where those hobbies can come in hand, and that they can help. They will help fill your cup. And if they're a hobby like where it helps keep you fit, great. So know that balance. For me, I have a set routine, and that's probably one of the biggest tips that I could give you, is just have that routine that works for you. If you're not a morning person, you don't have to be a morning person. If you prefer mornings, then wake up early. Like, everyone performs differently, whether you prefer working in the morning, working in the night. Trust me when I say I know people who earn multi-millions who don't wake up early every single day. I personally am still a big advocate for waking up early, because I feel like you feel so much better ultimately, and I feel like there's definitely a link between overall happiness if you're an early bird than if you're like a night owl. But you don't have to wake up super early at 4 a.m. every single day to be successful. I've seen it, I see them, they're sleeping in and they're not doing anything. So of course it just comes down to priorities. So find what works for you in terms of your routine, have that set time that you wake up, and time stamp your day. So have that time where you're going to go train, have your time where you're going to do your work, have your lunch break in there, have that afternoon hobby. For me, I'll wake up early, I'll go train, I'll work pretty much all day, and then I'll do my walk of an evening, and then finish doing my pole dancing or whatever hobby it is that I'm pursuing. My language learning, studying my counseling course. Just have that routine for you, and still schedule in your hobbies as much as you can, because you don't want it to be overtaking your life either. If you're someone who is multi-passionate, it can be super easy to put all your eggs in different baskets, whereas chances are if you want to be successful, like, you have to ultimately put all your main focus into that one particular thing that you really want to grow at, because otherwise you're kind of just going to be like subpar good at all these different things. You still want to make your main work the main area that you're putting all your energy in. When it comes to monetizing your hobbies and your passions, you can absolutely do this. I know I hear a lot of the time, like, you shouldn't monetize your hobbies, like, let your hobbies be a hobby. But honestly, monetizing your hobby doesn't have to ruin it for you. For sure, it can for some people. However, for me, my main hobby growing up was going to the gym and training. I wanted nothing more than to monetize what I was doing, because I can do what I love and I can monetize that. So why wouldn't I want to do that? And even now for me and doing it in my pole fitness, I've now monetized that. So I've still taken that same online coaching approach, and I've packaged that and really niched down to the pole industry and the pole fitness community. So I'm still offering online coaching. It's still the exact same thing, it's packaged the same way, but I'm monetizing my hobby, and I'm teaching pole now, and I've done that with so many other different things, different ventures, like, you name it, I've tried it all. They can be distractions, but once again, I think if you have enough self-awareness and you know where it can also be helping, your hobby, monetizing your hobby does not need to ruin it for you. It can honestly be one of the best things. And monetizing my hobby was the best thing that I've ever done in my life, because you're going to be passionate about it. So I think if you have that mindset of like, oh, I can't monetize this because I want it to be a hobby, I still want it to be enjoyable for me. Yeah, you're going to have those ups and downs at any job, for sure, no matter what, but it doesn't have to ruin it for you. If you had that mindset, then you've already ruined it for yourself. Whereas me, if you have that positive mindset in the sense of like, oh wow, I get to actually do my hobby, I get to teach other people, I think a lot of people can be scared of that, but there's so many different ways that you can even just monetize your hobby that's not online coaching. You can do so many different forms and variations that suits you. Maybe there's one particular way that's done traditionally that you're like, no, maybe that way of teaching it isn't my thing, but maybe I can go about it this way. Or maybe it's even as simple if you play soccer and you just want to start a YouTube channel or you playing soccer. You don't even have to teach anything. That's technically a form of monetizing that if you're building up your channel and you're filming vlogs or you're filming TikTok videos on that as well. So your hobby doesn't have to be ruined if you're monetizing it. Get rid of that mindset. It's a limiting belief at the end of the day. And I guess, guys, just to kind of tie everything all together is just ultimately having the passion for what you do, because that's just what's going to make it so much more long-term for you. And if you can't see yourself sticking to what you're doing 5 years from now, don't even spend 5 weeks doing it, because it's not going to be sustainable, and you're going to do all these little side quests, for lack of a better term, that's not even going to be needle-moving activities. So the best piece of advice that I can give you is just being passionate about what you do. Stick at it for a long period of time, and those extra little things, it's fine to have them, but don't let them take over your life.